My name is Yash Sharma, and the topic for my presentation is today inclusion in early childhood education. Right now in Australia, more than 1 in 5 children arrive at preschool with diagnosed disability or additional needs. So every educator by default is an inclusion teacher. When I say inclusion, I mean that every child plays, learns, and feels they belong in their usual group, no special side rooms. Over the next 5 minutes, I'll cover four things. The first is the legal rights that make up the inclusion non negotiable, research proven benefits, and how to design accessible spaces and interaction strategies that we as educators can use in future. The first slide talks about why inclusion matters. Inclusion isn't a warm and a fuzzy add-on, it's a structural commitment. UNESCO defines it as all children participating together in everyday routines. And Iskau and Miles remind us that true inclusion goes beyond access to a sense of belonging. Children know group, they are valued members of the group. Getting this right early boosts motivation and school readiness. Keep that belonging lens in your mind as we move forward from policies to practice. In this slide, I would be talking about the children's right and the legal mandates. Legally, we have no wiggle room. Article 23 of UN Convention on the Rights of Children guarantee education that promotes dignity and participation for children with disabilities. Here in Australia, the Disability Discrimination Act requires reasonable adjustments which makes exclusion unlawful. The National Polity Framework, Area 5, assesses centers on how well relationship supports inclusion. Finally, our own ECEC Code of Ethics commits us to equity and social justice. So inclusion is both a legal right and a professional duty. Moving forward, I would be introducing you to the benefits of inclusion practices. Let me ask you a quick question. What happens when we actually include everyone? Well, research by Odom and colleagues show faster language and cognitive growth for children with disabilities when they learn alongside typically developing children. Those children, in turn, gain empathy and collaborational skills as referees work demonstrates. Hires large-scale review reports, calmer classrooms, richer playing themes, and long-term higher academic and employment outcomes for all those learners. So inclusion is a high-impact pedagogy, not a charity. So this slide would briefly tell you about the inclusion environments, particularly in physical layer. First, the bricks and mortar, universal design features, wide doorways, ramps, access, high adjustable tables, let children who use wheelchairs or walkers navigate independently. Simple adaptive tools like pencil grips or switch activated toys level the fine motor playing fields, and sensory friendly zones with soft lighting, noise dampening rugs give overstimulated kids a place to reset, preventing meltdowns and preserving learning time for everyone. In this slide, I would like to introduce inclusive environments in interaction layers. Physical access isn't enough. We also have to scaffold communication and routines. Visual reports, such as daily pictures, schedules, or first then boards, externalize time and reduce anxiety for kids who need predictability. AAC, such as AAC recommends picture exchange or speech generating tables, giving non-verbal children a functional voice, and which dramatically improves peer interaction. And building an extra minute into transitions or letting children choose activity orders respects different processing speeds, cutting down on power struggles. talking about targeted strategy methods, the first one is cognitive delay, which would be pairing picture cards with verbal direction, which splits information across visual and auditory channels, easing working memory loads and boosting independence for the child. Second is children with physical disability, uh, an engineering buddy which carries blocks to the floor, so the disabled child use just uses the walker to join the construction play without any fatigue. This only includes the peer support, not an extra adult hovering above. The third one is behavioral regulation. A feeling chart plus a sensory toolbox like a squeeze ball or a weighted lap pads help a child identify rising frustrations and choose a safe coping tool before aggression peaks. The next slide talks about educator actions and partnerships. Well, inclusive practice is a cycle. We observe strengths and barriers, plan adjustments, do implement and review the impact following DEC's recommendation loop. Families and therapists bring priceless knowledge. So co-design goals and check progresses together. Keep learning. Early Childhood Intervention Australia has short evidence-based models. And remember, sometimes you'll need to advocate for resources or uh, policy changes as well. Professionalism includes activism. In the end, I would like to conclude by saying that inclusion is a child's right and our ethical duty. Decades of research show cognitive, social, and economic gains for everyone in inclusive classrooms. Our toolkit as educators is of two parts consisting of design accessible spaces and providing responsive interactions, revisiting them through a reflective cycle. When we do that, every child not only attends but truly belongs, participates, and thrives. Thank you. These are all my references.